Welcome, y'all. It's Wes with DIY Food Plot Pro. Thanks so much for joining us. Today's episode, we're going to give you a real-life update. This is being filmed Friday, October 17th. We have got a massive cold front coming in here in the next 2 days. Supposed to hit sometime Saturday night, Sunday morning. Temperatures are going to drop around 20 to 25 degrees, so a significant front. This last week, we saw quite a bit of mature buck movement in daylight. Very random in fashion. A lot of it on scrapes, a lot of it on food plots. I've seen on camera where I think that the white oak acorns are beginning to play out, but that's certainly not the case right here where I'm standing. There is a pile of new white oak acorns that are on the ground here in the last week. I think this is very interesting because what we saw was when a lot of folks were claiming a ton of white oak acorns on the ground back early September, we really didn't hardly have any. As a matter of fact, it looked like we were going to have a below average crop of white oak acorns really up until about 10 days to 2 weeks ago. So we were out here. I got a new saddle that I was training in, shooting in the yard out here. Tremendous amount of white oak trees in this little yard here. I mean, you could find a white oak acorn, but it was difficult to do. Now, it's not like it was 2 years ago where they were just completely loaded and covered the ground, but there's a significant amount of white oak acorns on the ground right now. Now, my cameras in the past, I'd say 3 to 5 days, have really started firing off around the northern red oaks. And we kind of see this shift a lot every year. It's generally when the white oaks get cleaned up, then the whitetails go to the northern red oak trees. If you don't know what a northern red oak acorn looks like, they're a large acorn, very similar in size to a white oak acorn. A little bit fatter and not quite as long, but they're not the little bitty tiny ones. They're big acorns, and whitetails really like them in my neck of the woods in late October, and that's been a consistent pattern that I've seen over the years. We had a very good crop of northern red oaks this year, and those cameras that are in those areas have been dead completely up until about a week ago. And those cameras have really started firing off with a lot of deer and a lot of activity going on around those areas. I would say the vast majority of the crops in our neck of the woods has been harvested now. There's a few soybeans left, a little bit of corn left down in the very wet river bottoms. But other than that, everything is pretty well picked clean. Whitetails have moved into the woods where they were bedding and spending a lot of time in those ag fields where the standing crops were, where they still have a lot of cover. Let's talk about this cold front coming up. This is a major cold front that I believe is going to hit here the 19th of October. Now, ideally, this front hits 10 days from now. 10 days from now, I think it's a no-brainer, 100% you go. Do you go right now? In October 19th, you're still arguably a week to 10 days away from the pre-rut really kicking off hard and getting a lot of daytime movement. Do you take a risk right now and hunt this massive cold front that's coming in? And I think you have to look at how you set your farm up, right? I am going to be hunting this weekend, and this is really the first time that I've been in the woods since I took one set on early September on a velvet buck, and other than that, I've not been in the woods at all. I think it is worth noting when you're trying to decide whether you should go this weekend or not. You're going to hear so many ideas, so many opinions of guys. Some saying, yes, go in the afternoon. Some saying go all out in the mornings. I think there will be a significant amount of daylight movement the day of the front and the couple days after. I think there's going to be significant movement. We're going from the mid 80s, 85, 86, maybe even 88. And we're going to go to a high of about 63, 64. We're going to get rain that night that the front comes in. So all these scrapes that have been hit last week should be freshened back up right after that rain event. There's going to be a significant amount of high pressure coming in after this front comes through. So we've got really three things that are huge assets in the whitetail world. The worst and the most negative part about this entire thing is it's a little bit early. It was the 27th, 28th, 29th of October. Every hunter in North America would be in the woods. There's no question about it. I am going to be in the woods, but I am not going all out. I'm not going to go in there and burn up my property and go right to the center of the farm and take a gigantic risk right now. To me, this is still a time when you do get in there, but you don't go deep. You're still hunting the perimeter of the farm. You do not want to mess your farm up in middle October right here 2 weeks before it's about to really get good. So we've waited all year for this time in the woods It would be a really bad deal to get out there right now, to get out in the very middle of your farm and take a huge swing and miss and bump a lot of the deer off your farm, alert a lot of the deer that you're being hunted, because right now those are not in heat right now. I'm not seeing any rutting activity whatsoever. I think there will be in the next couple of weeks. You'll start seeing a significant amount of chasing, a lot of sign being laid down. Really and truly, I feel like we're a week or two behind. I think the rut's going to happen the same time every year, but the scrapes, the rubs, the transition, fall shift, all that stuff happened 2 to 3 weeks behind. Last year, I was getting tons and tons of mature bucks on scrapes into September. This year was literally mid-October before my cameras really started firing off hard on scrapes, and they're still not going like they were in September of last year. So I feel like we're a little bit behind, and I think it's this heat that's holding everything down. Maybe a little bit of the acorn crop as well. I would be out there hunting this weekend if I could it, absolutely at all. I would try to get out, but I would still not swing for the fences. This is not a time when you take gigantic risk and blow your farm up. These does are not in heat yet. The buck's defense is still up right now. We all know during the rut, his defenses go down. He's worried about one thing that's not happening yet. And that's a huge asset to us as whitetail hunters. We can get away with a lot of things that we can't typically get away with when those does are in heat, or right at the beginning before those does are coming in heat. We don't have that for us right now, right? We still have to play smart, but I do believe that we are going to see some phenomenal movement the next 3 or 4 days as this front rolls through. We are getting about a 20-25% drop. This time of the year, generally you're looking for a 10 to 12% drop in temperature before you go. We're getting 20 to 25%. A massive cold front for this time of the year. I would absolutely be out there hunting, and I would absolutely be on the edge of a farm where I'm not going to booger up the center. I'm not going into my sanctuary. I'm just going to try to hold off, hunt the edges, and I'll expect good movement on those edges. If you need help setting up your deer hunting farms, you can go to my website, www.diyfoodplotpro.com. Click on Boots on the Ground Consultation, Boots on the Ground Visit, and I will come to your farm this winter and we'll develop a plan for it to make that farm hunt as best as it possibly can, with designing access, screening, food plots, standing blind locations, mock scrape, water holes. The whole 9 yards will be in that plan. It'll be a full blueprint of what you need to turn that farm into the best hunting property in the neighborhood. So if that's something that interests you, you can go to my website, www.diyfoodplotpro.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all smash that like and subscribe button.